Hi everyone, Mr. Justin here with the Hernando County Public Library System, and thank you so much for joining us for another week of our story time. Tales and Tales is the theme for the summer, and this week we are on week number 5. So we've read some really good stories all about farm animals and pets and safari animals and forest animals, and this week it's all about birds. When you think of birds, what are some birds you think of? I think of ducks and robins and ostriches and penguins and emus and owls and woodpeckers and sparrows and crows. So many different birds out there. And so we are going to be reading about just a few birds, and we're going to do our bird of the week or our animal of the week, and I'll show you the craft at the end of the story. So let's go ahead and get started with our first story. And our first story is going to be called Let's Go, Hugo. Let's Go, Hugo. Here's a cute little bird. Looks like he lives in Paris. And it's written and illustrated by Angela Dominguez and published by Penguin Random House Publishing. So let's read all about Hugo. There's Hugo. He's in the park. I wonder why he's not flying. Hugo was a little bit different. He preferred walking to flying. Instead of living on the top of the trees, Hugo lived in a burrow down at the bottom. Instead of building nests, Hugo built works of art. And Hugo was content living on the ground. One day, Hugo was finishing his latest masterpiece when he heard a voice. "Hey, I know that building," said a little bird. "Really?" Hugo was overjoyed. "Yep, you can see it from up here. It's the Eiffel Tower. We can fly there." Oh, Hugo realized it was too far to walk. "My name's Lulu," said the little bird. "Come on, I'll take you." "I'm Hugo," he said, and then he fell silent. Lulu tilted her head and smiled. "Well, let's go, Hugo." I have to show you the park before we go," Hugo said. Lulu thought that was a splendid idea. Relieved, Hugo led the way. First, they ate popcorn. After they finished eating, Lulu said, "Ready? Let's go, Hugo." "You can't fly on a full stomach," Hugo replied. "We have to wait an hour." So Lulu agreed, and they played in the fountain instead. After a little while, Lulu again said, "Let's go. Let's go, Hugo." But Hugo replied, "We can't fly now. Our feathers have to dry first." Lulu agreed, and they watched a ballet instead. The show lasted into the evening. "It's getting late," said Lulu. "Are you ready to go, Hugo?" Again, Hugo replied, "We can't fly. It's dangerous for me to fly at night." "Let's go in the morning." Lulu yawned. She looked at Hugo. At last she said, "Okay, well, I should go home then. See you later." Hugo's heart sank as his new friend flew away. He'd never seen the Eiffel Tower. He'll never see the Eiffel Tower now. What if he never saw Lulu again either? He tried to run after her, but she was already high in the sky. It was hopeless. "What's the matter, little one?" It was the old owl Bernard, perched high up a tree. It was late and the owl was the only one awake. Hugo was so tired that he blurted without thinking, "I'm afraid to fly." Bernard paused and said, "Well, everyone is afraid of something. I was afraid of the dark, but then I realized all the wonderful things I was missing, like the moon and the stars. If you want, I'll help you practice." Hugo looked down at the ground. He looked up at the owl. It took all his courage, but at last Hugo said, "Yes, please." They practiced flying the rest of the night. There were many ups and many downs. When Hugo finally flew to the top of the tree, the owl said, "Look at you go, Hugo. Good job. Tomorrow we'll practice more, but now it's my bedtime." As the sun came up, Hugo was still high in the tree. "Are you ready?" asked Lulu, landing next to him. Hugo looked from Lulu to the ground, far, far below. "Not really. I'm a little scared." Lulu smiled. It'll be another adventure we can do together, except this time, instead of exploring the park, we'll explore the sky. Oh, Hugo hesitated. I never thought of it like that. And Lulu stuck out her wing. Hugo took a tiny step away from the tree, and then another and another until, let's go, Hugo, Lulu sang. Hugo took a deep breath and grabbed on, and off they flew. The Eiffel Tower was more beautiful than Hugo had ever imagined. So beautiful, he forgot to be afraid. And there's Hugo and Lulu flying in the sky. When they got back to the park, Hugo asked Lulu, "Where do you want to go next?" Lulu tilted her head and she said, "Hey, the sky's the limit." Hugo smiled and stretched his wings out wide. And that is the end of Let's Go, Hugo. And there we go. There we go. And let's go ahead and reveal our animal of the week. So there's a lot of different types of birds. And the bird that we mentioned this bird a little bit ago when I was listing all the types of birds. I'm very excited. This is one of my favorite birds. Can you guess who you think it is? Who is our animal of the week? It is the penguin. It is the penguin. And the penguin is the animal of the week. And penguins are birds, but they cannot fly. And unlike Hugo, they're not afraid. They're just not able to fly, but they have flippers that they use to swim. There are 17 species of penguins, and they all live in the southern half of the world. The largest penguin is the emperor penguin, and the adults are about the size of a young child, so probably about around your height maybe. And the smallest is the little blue penguin, and it's a little taller than a ruler, so it's a little over 12 inches. So there's a penguin, and the tallest penguin is only about 12, 13 inches. That's really tiny. And they eat and they dive for fish, squid, and krill, so that's mainly what they eat. They have black and white feathers that are waterproof. They're excellent swimmers, and even can hold their breath for a pretty long time. The emperor penguin can hold their breath for about 20 minutes. I don't even know if I can hold my breath for 2 seconds, for 20 seconds, for not very long, but the emperor penguin underwater for about 20 minutes. And penguins can live in the wild for about 15 to 20 years. So our animal of the week is all about penguins. And speaking of penguins, let's read a book about a penguin. And this is called Love Mama, and this is written by and illustrated by Jeanette Bradley, and it is published by Macmillan. Love Mama. And this is all about penguins. When they reached the ocean, Kipling waved goodbye to Mama. She called, "I'll be back home soon, Kipling." But Mama didn't come home for dinner or at bedtime. In the morning, Kipling looked everywhere for Mama, but Pillow Mama wouldn't read, and Picture Mama wouldn't laugh. And Snow Mama was too cold to cuddle. Ooh, brr. Kipling lined up his wishing rocks and made a wish for Mama on each one. He waited and waited, but not even one wish Mama came home. Then the doorbell rang. Ding dong! Oh, but it wasn't Mama. It was just a sad, soggy box. Kipling shook the box. It rustled and thunked and smelled like the sea. So he peeked inside. It was from Mama. She had sent him a box of his favorite things and a paper heart that read, "Dear Kipling, my love for you stretches across the wide room. Through day and night. From earth to sky and back again. From my heart to yours, love, Mama." And Kipling hugged the heart, just like Mama in the picture. Then Kipling found his own box and made his own heart for Mama. His wish for Mama would stretch from the earth to the sky, through day and night, across the wide ocean, and back again. Looks like his wish came true. Mama, she was home at last. Mama was home for dinner and bedtime, and all the hugs in between. And that is Love Mama. There we go. And let's do a quick penguin rhyme. And let's see how many penguins we have today. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 perky penguins stood on the shore. 1 went for a swim, and now we have 4. 4 perky penguins looked out to sea. 1 went swimming, and now we have 3. 3 perky penguins said, "What can we do?" 1 jumped in the water, and now we have 2. 2 perky penguins sat in the sun. 1 swam off, and now we have, how many do we have? 1. 1 perky penguin said, "This is no fun." He dived into the water to join his friends, and now we have none. There we go, and that is our rhyme, 5 perky penguins. Let's go ahead and do our last story before we have our last rhyme, and this is called North, South, East, West, written by Margaret Wise Brown, illustrated by Greg Pizzoli, and published by HarperCollins Publishing. North, West, East, South. Once, there was a little bird all tucked into her nest. It was almost time for her to fly away. Her mother taught her to ride the wind and to fly above and below the storms and to glide on the strength of the wind. And then they would fly home to their nest in the sycamore tree, and she would sing her a song. And the little bird would ask, "When I fly away, which is best, north, south, east, or west?" Her mother curved her head under her wing and put her other wing over her little bird. As the hush of the evening fell, the crickets sang their cricket song. And the little bird dreamed from the warmth of the nest of the north and the south, and the east and the west. In the bright new light of the rising sun, she stretched her little wings and flew. And she flew on the wind to the north, to a land of ice and snow, where everything was white. But it was too cold for the little bird to rest or build her nest, so she flew around the North Pole and headed south, till the sea was blue and the trees were green and the thickets were full of flowers. But it was too hot there to build a nest, so the little bird rested, and then she headed west, over mountains and rivers and plains, to where the red sun sank into the sea. She had flown to the north and the south and the west, but which direction did she like best? She sat on a rock by the edge of the sea, and she thought of her home in the sycamore tree. She had flown to the north and the south and the west, but the east was home. So she stretched her wings and flew into the rising sun. Over the high mountains, over the deep canyons, over the great forests and plains she flew, till she came home to where the land was soft and green with rain, and the sycamore trees grew tall. In the spring, when the wild birds sing in the wild green forests of the east, the little bird, a big bird now, sang to her eggs the song her mother had sung to her, till her little birds cracked out of their shells. And they opened their beaks and said, "Mama, when we fly away, which is best, north, south, east, or west?" And there they go, flying off, north, south, east, and west. And that is the end. Okay, let's do our last little rhyme, our last song. And this is one of my favorites. Let's go ahead and get our first one right here. And who is that? That looks like one duck. So we have 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 little ducks went out one day over the hill and far away. Mother duck said, quack, 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 but only 4 little ducks came back. 4 little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck called, quack, 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 but only 3 little ducks came back. 3 little ducks went out one day over the hill and far away. Mother duck called, quack, 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 but only 2 little ducks came back. 2 little ducks went out one day over the hill and far away. Mother duck called, quack, 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 but only 1 little duck came back. 1 little duck went out one day over the hill and far away. Mother duck called, quack, 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 and no little ducks came running back. No little ducks went out one day over the hill and far away. Mother duck called, quack, 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 and all 5 little ducks came running back. There we go. Those are little ducks are back to their mother duck, and that is the end. There we go. We saw some awesome birds today in all of our stories. Even some birds we didn't read about. We had ducks, and we had what else? We had penguins. We had a lot of different birds that we read about today. I hope you enjoyed all the bird stories. But remember, we still have our summer going on. It's only week 5 of 7. You can still come and pick up a reading log, and you can win fun or earn prizes by reading 5 books. We have fun little plush animals you can take home with you if you read 5 books. We also have Reading with the Rays. Read 24 hours, earn 2 free tickets to a Rays game. You can get that through the Rays website, and you can also get that through our website also. Of course, we've got our story times here every Tuesday that are posted, and we have our craft this week you can come to the library and pick up starting today, and that is going to be our little parrot craft. So you can get this little cardboard piece, you're going to get the string, and you're going to get all of these little dot stickers. And so what you'll do is you'll take off the stickers and match them onto the board, and in the end you'll get this very colorful and very cool parrot. You can tie the string, you can hang it as an ornament, or just hang it from whatever you want, and then that is going to be our craft for this week. And so make sure you get those at your local branches until supply lasts, or while supplies last. And then once they're gone, we will have our next craft next Tuesday. And so hopefully you can join us for our next story time. We will be back next Tuesday with insects is going to be our next theme. So I hope you all enjoyed our bird stories, and we'll see you all later. Bye, everyone.